So do you guys ever just, come to the dark portal because you think maybe, just maybe, one day that portal might turn green and you'll be able to just walk right through it and all your hopes and dreams and aspirations of Assad TBC might start to just simply become reality? Well, for today's video, we have just that. So we've been working hard at data mining and looking into the files that have been dropped for that update that included sort of a Phase 9 PTR and the hype behind it. And we got to diving a little bit more into it, and we got a whole plethora of information to give you guys, as well as just sort of talk about what it could mean, what it could be, and why we are seeing it done the way it is done. Now, I want to be very abundantly 1,000,000% clear with you guys that this is still largely hopium, and I don't have any official source, any official confirmation, or anything like that to suggest that this is actually going to be a Phase 9 where we take TBC elements or just straight up go into TBC. However, there are a lot of signs that are pointing to the, it could be that. And so I wanted to dive into that and show you exactly my logic, thought process, and the evidence that we have. So without further ado, I'm going to switch it over to the evidence page, and we're going to dive right into this fun stuff. So I'll see you then. Whoop. So the first thing that I want to show you guys, just so you guys are very well aware of this, you might already be aware of this, but it's just something that could be very useful for you to know. So how Classic WoW is built and operated is essentially it is the same build regardless of the game mode you are playing on. While every server and setting has its own settings and it varies in degree, you can freely walk up here and click mode, and you can swap between era, you can swap between hardcore, season of discovery, anniversary, and hardcore realms. So essentially they are all on the same exact builds. Like we can go over here to hardcore, and this is a classic era hardcore character right here that will just simply work with hardcore settings enabled. So, and then we can switch over to season of discovery. Most of these aren't that differing, they're kind of the same except for season of discovery. Season of discovery is the massive outlier in that sense. And what we have seen with anniversaries, like some of the SOD rune vendor or rune NPCs and quest NPCs have bled over into anniversary. They don't do anything. They have nothing there. There's invisible walls to stop you from buying things from them, doing things, and sort of like a dev check, I guess, is what it would be referred to. And as we saw, with AV launching, SOD and anniversary realms were blending for the first hour, and you could be a SOD character, which is essentially a god in AV, 1v40ing all of the anniversary characters that had no gear or power like you do in Season of Discovery. And we also saw the chrono boons from SOD were able to be traded over, and people were able to use those in Season of Discovery or in Anniversary, and it allowed the game to be completely changed. But it just shows you that these realms are connected, and that is the point I want to prove. So now we are going to switch it over to the evidence, and I will show you more then. So whoop. So first off, before we get into this, huge shout out to El Chef, the guy who has been data mining stuff for me and sending it and really helping me understand all this. You have been an MVP, and if there's anything I can ever do, please let me know. Other than these shout outs, man, I genuinely appreciate it. As well as Ebonheart, who is a fellow content creator. If you're not subbed to his channel, go check him out right away. He's also covering this Phase 9 hype, and we've been sort of talking and sharing a lot of information as well. So give him a subscribe as well, and follow and like his videos. He's doing a great job of this as well. So right here, this is what a normal sort of data mine sheet looks like. So when you data mine the files, this is what it gives you back. So you put a file into the WoW exporter, it tells you all this information about what things are doing. So here's a deeper dive into the Ultimate table just to show you what it looks like. So you can see stuff like this and really dive into the details of files and see what each file essentially represents. The problem we are encountering with these files is that it is, one, incredibly massive. So it is over 2,500 files, which is, to put it in layman terms, an expansion-worthy amount of files. So, yeah, and none of the files mention New Avalon, Phase 8, Scarlet Enclave. So it is a massive amount of files that are encrypted. So this is what it looks like when you try to do it. So it says can't verify integrity of file, and you can't pull anything. So Blizzard has encrypted it. However, we know one thing about this is that corporations tend to use the same encrypting and decrypting tools. So if you are a dev for a corporation and have a different set of dev tools, you can actually look at files. So Ebonheart has someone who has that capability. I do not have that capability, and he was so kind to share a little bit of information with us. Here's Ebonheart's channel. Definitely check him out. Give him a subscribe if you are not already. Dude has been going off with the Phase 9 stuff as well, so I can't wait to see what he posts today about it. But here is the DM he showed me. So this is a dive into one of those files, and these are essentially the file sizes. So if these are megabytes with an MB, this right here is the exact file size. These 883 and 836 megabytes, that is the exact size of a certain zone that would be through the dark portal known as Hellfire Peninsula. So yeah, that it doesn't mean that we are getting TBC. It does not mean we're getting solid TBC. I want to be abundantly clear with that. But this is just what the information is looking like, and we are seeing some files. Obviously, this is highly it is highly up for interpretation. They literally could have just put on a build to go into TBC to test something internally. That's literally what it could be to some degree. Like we don't actually know. So here is a nice screenshot that has been leaked and put around from people doing this. So as you can see, WoW Season Discovery Phase 9 details data mine plus QA source May 2025. So potential spoilers, Phase 9 content unconfirmed. So dumping this here after cross-checking with 2 separate QA testers and some data mine strings from encrypted builds, this might be our first look at Phase 9, the rumored Penta Ultimate phase before SOD concludes. Phase 9 will allegedly merge elements of TBC while maintaining the level 60 cap. Blizzard is calling it Breaking of Outland internally, a pre-official pre-Burning Crusade zone rework with custom SOD events. No TBC launch yet. This is season-only content, not a full expansion release. And a new raid, Karazhan Crypts, custom 10 or 20 man raid, mix of horror and void elements, features Echo of Medivh as a boss encounter. So once again, this is them diving in. This is a huge sort of leak. I don't have the full picture. I only have the Craft one from Ebonheart, but really, really hype if any of this is true to any degree. However, I want all lines are leading us there, right? Like we might get it. We want to get it. It would be awesome to get it. However, I like to believe in Occam's razor and sort of the path of least resistance. And to me, what it looks like is they might be gearing up for an anniversary PTR of TBC. Now, I want Phase 9. I would love for what is shown here to be true. Why would Blizzard be quiet about it and be so silent about all this? Like, tell us there's something more and it's awesome. Like, they don't even have to say it's anything. They could give the slightest, smallest, simplest hint to lead us in that direction and not do it so secretively and encrypted. To me, I want it to be SOD Phase 9 so freaking badly. I hope you guys understand that I want that. However, I want to take a realistic approach and say it simply just could be them gearing up to give us PTR for before we go into TBC months in advance, or like 1 to 2 months like they normally have done here with Season of Discovery, because TBC is actually the furthest expansion away from them. So every quality of life, every BattleNet update, everything that they've sort of changed internally in the game makes the TBC code break. TBC might not function as intended, so they could just be getting an early start on that, building that up, and making it work. That seems way more logical than all of this and then going into TBC adding all this stuff. But like I said, I really, really hope, and as you guys have known, and I've highlighted many times on the Phase 8 page, they have removed Culminate from the the header, which means we could just be getting more. Because why the heck are you gonna remove culminate if you're not gonna give us more? So anyway, just I hope so badly that this is true, but I also wanted to throw that anniversary TBC PTR out there so you guys are aware that that's just what all this could be as well. But anyway, that's my best explanation. That's all the information I got for you, and maybe this portal right here will turn green one day. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey you. Yes you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.